Hello, this is Ki-Seok Kwon from South Korea. Um, I'm happy to present my research in our conference, Asian Society for Innovation and Policy. And today I'm going to talk about the changing environment of technological innovation system in South Korea due to the COVID-19. So I have worked with Youbean Kim from NAFI and Soyeon from Seattle University. So as you know, the Korean innovation system, Korean economy has been rapidly catch up other developed countries due to the technological innovation system, technological innovation. So recently, we think that the outbreak of COVID-19 in South Korea encouraged the fundamental change of our economy as well as the innovation system. So we'd like to predict, forecast the change of Korean innovation system. So against this background, this research aims to identify what kind of driving forces is occurred in our innovation system. So to do this, we organized some systematic way method to identify the driving forces of Korean innovation system outside of the system. So, as you know, the recent situation, we developed, we set up, build up a new method combining quantitative and qualitative method of technological forecast. So, for example, the trend analysis and the Delphi method is a qualitative way, and where is the megatrend scenario is uh, the trend analysis in Delphi method is more suitable for the short-term foresight. In contrast, the megatrend and scenario have more have a advantage for the long-term foresight, and also statistical modeling and the computational modeling has more suitable for the quantitative data in technological foresight. But in reality, as you know, those methods are combined, used in a combined way. So in this research, we combined qualitative method as well as quantitative method. So in chapter 3, we suggest a way of combining method. As you see here, firstly, in the first stage, expert panel, we ran the expert panel. So the experts are encouraged to freely suggest their opinion about what is most important driving forces in the situation of the COVID-19. And at the second stage, the cross impact analysis enable us to identify the relationship between the different forces. So based on this, we can we can generate the critical axis for creating different scenarios for the future. So the last stage is scenario planning. So we can suggest several scenarios, different scenarios for the future due to the COVID-19. So the result is, as you see here, we generate different driving forces in the area of society, technology, and in economy, environment, and politics. So in different 5 categories, we suggest more than 30 forces. And as you see here, we scored the relationship between the different driving forces identified from the expert panel. So based on the social network analysis program, we drew a picture, the relationship between the different driving forces. So as you see here, the circle means the driving forces in the area of economy, and the triangle is the environment, and the rectangle is in the area of politics. So, and also the size of nodes means the uncertainty. So the bigger size means that very highly uncertain driving force. And the darkness, the degree of darkness is proportional to the size of intensity of the impact. So uh, the black nodes means the very uh, the impact is very high. So we have identified 4 axes is important. So first axis is um, the pollution, the forces related to pollution. The second axis is regional autonomy, and third axis is about the manufacturing industry in domestic market. And the fourth axis is about the global value, the change of global value chain. So based on these 4 axes, because the axis is a very highly uncertain factors, so the uncertainty means we can predict different scenarios. So based on these uncertainties, we can generate many possible scenarios. These predetermined factors is uncertainty is very low, um, but the impact is very high. So these driving forces, predetermined factors, can be regarded as determined situation, determined given condition. So based on this given condition, we can we can imagine the different scenarios based on the core uncertainties. So because we have identified 4 axes for core uncertainty, so we can combine the 6 combination. So pollution and the region pollution and large manufacturing industry pollution and the global value chain, the region and the large manufacturing industry. So we in the panel we discuss about which combination is more suitable for our the background for generating our scenarios. So first one is a region and the global value chain. We have chosen this combination because those factors has a very high impact and coverage is biggest among those combinations. So we have, as you see here, we have 4 possibilities. So these y-axis shows the emergence of region in the centralized system. So y-axis shows the regional factor, and the x-axis, uh, horizontal axis, shows the global value chain. So left is restoring global value chain. Right axis is right right direction means the weakened global value chain. So those based on those two axes, we can generate four scenarios. Firstly, the most preferable scenarios, which is named as green light for the regional goals. The second scenario is a fragile hope. The third scenario is a return to the world region. So this is the most possible scenario among our scenarios. The last one is the avoidable. We have to avoid this scenario. So growth by innovation and regional conflict. So let's go through the detail of the four scenarios. The first one is the most preferred scenario. So um, in the from the viewpoint of the regional innovation. So this scenario, the weakened based on because the global value chain is weakened and the centralized system has been weakened. So the region is come up as a very important actor in the national innovation system. So we can um, predict the new opportunity can be opened. So the region can plan their own R&D picture and also vision strategy. So and also the environment is global value chain is very weakened. So very new technological opportunity can be open for the regions in our country. So this is the most preferred scenario among those four scenarios. The second one is a fragile hope because we assume that we imagine that the restoration of global value chain. So the global value chain will not be changed, but the authority can be devolved to the region. So regional actors can emerge as an important actor. But the environmental situation is the same, is nearly same as before the COVID-19. So the hope is very fragile and also very complex mechanism can be occurred in this area. And the third one is most possible scenario. It's a return to the world region. So the global value chain are restored to the same level and centralized system will be maintained as before. So the economy inequality and polarization can be intensified. So region cannot be emerged as a critical actor in the regional innovation system. So the region still have a limitation to innovate their own region. The third one is the avoidable scenario because even though the global value chain has been changed, but the centralized system is still have a power to planning the technological system. So the situation is too complex. So policy responses cannot be appropriately cope with different technological system, technological environment. So the central government conflict resolution function will be very critical. And also these, in a way, these can result the strengthenment of the central government's power in technological system. So as a conclusion, in our research based on the foresight method, we wanted to identify the driving forces of the technological innovation system since the COVID-19. So in conclusion, we have to develop we have to enhance the endogenous capability of the region, and also by this way we can stimulate the power to find a new opportunity in those trends, in those changing technological environment. And also the central government have to boldly admit to devolve their power to the regional authority. So based on this, the regional authority can plan their own technological plan and strategy. So based on this strategy, we think that the national innovation system as a whole can be more can be more innovative than before the COVID-19 era. So this is the conclusion based on our research. Thank you for listening. And if you have any question or comments, welcome. So I would like to finish my presentation. Thank you.